Hello and welcome to the Eurogamer Show.
What are you doing here?
What? I can do links.
No, you can't.
Coming up this week, LEGO Worlds. Is it worth leaving Minecraft for?
And Ian's playing a game called Ark Survival Evolved, which isn't a great name, but it does have dinosaurs in it.
Before that though, let's head on over to Chris in the office to find out what's been going on this week.
But I'm not in the office, I'm standing right next to you.
Over to Chris in the office.
This week felt like really good preparation for E3, I felt. It was all about getting excited about games that haven't been released yet and that we still don't know an awful lot about. And that was quite fun. The big one being Fallout 4, obviously, which was revealed, wasn't a hoax, and has a dog in it. So I think largely people were just relieved about one of those three things. Anyway, I got to talk a little bit about Total War Warhammer, which is a game that I've actually seen, although I haven't played it yet. It was hands-off, which is a shame, but what I saw looked very, very promising. Definitely one to keep an eye on. And a final surprise, a very pleasant surprise, was the announcement of XCOM 2, which came with a fantastic looking trailer that has me very excited to get back into that game. And yeah, that was a great exclusive for IGN, I guess. In fact, they had exclusives surrounding XCOM 2 throughout the entire week, which must have been nice for them. Felt like a bit much, maybe they could have shared those around. Would have been cool if we'd had one or two XCOM exclusives of our own. And with that in mind, actually, I put together a little list here. Now, this is a list of potential exclusives for XCOM 2, so do bear that in mind. None of these have been confirmed in any way. In fact, I've made all of them up. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Number one is a really big one. It's going to come out on consoles in 2016. Now, that's not something that I can prove. It's not something that I know. It's just a guess, really, but I hope it does. Now, number two is something that IGN have already talked about already. It's this idea that veteran soldiers will receive additional customization options, something that will prove very important to XCOM players, I think. It's a nice touch. One of those additional customization options will be an eye patch. Moving on to number three, some people out there are going to do some really quite confusing fan art involving those alien snake ladies. In fact, that one may well have already happened, to be honest. Number four, people will actually play the multiplayer this time around. The multiplayer in XCOM Enemy Unknown, right? No one ever talks about it. It was really good. Potential exclusive number five is actually kind of a dark one, really. I reckon you're going to be able to kill civilians if you want to during missions, maybe to avoid detection at the start so they don't run off and tell their alien friends what's going on. Yeah, that one's... In hindsight, that one's a bit too serious. Number six, the fifth as of yet unannounced class will be a tiny sectoid that's a little bit grumpy that these taller sectoids have come in and suddenly they're getting statues built of them and all of this cool stuff. 7. When an XCOM operative dies, you have to call up their loved ones and explain why you risked a 60% shot whilst behind low cover, even though you knew it was probably a bad idea. And number 8, the pigeon animations will have improved significantly this time around. Cool. Okay, that's the 8 potential exclusives for XCOM 2 that IGN haven't already got. So please do remember them if they're anywhere close to being true. And that'll do it for this week. Back to the studio.
Bethesda may have lifted the lid on Fallout 4, but that's not the only big announcement this week.
Yeah, we've seen LEGO Worlds hit early access, and you know what? It's a bit like Fallout 4. You can run around in open worlds.
LEGO Worlds is a bit like Fallout 4. Ian and Johnny had a look, so let's check it out.
That's just what I've said. What? Are you pretending I'm not... Why?
The release of LEGO Worlds onto Steam Early Access this week came as a bit of a surprise to everyone, especially seeing as we'd heard earlier in the day that a previously canned online construction game called LEGO Universe had been dogged by problems with dong detection software. Because, let's face it, give someone a creation tool and it's only a matter of time until a Winky pops up. Pardon the expression. Allegedly, it was impossible for the developers to build a creative MMO with the promise of 0 penises being seen. Testers always found crafty ways to hide the wieners from the filters, and as a responsible, family-friendly company, LEGO naturally had a bit of an issue with online safety. So anyway, instead of adding dong detection software to LEGO Worlds, they've just made it nigh on impossible to build anything at all. I guess that's one way to solve the problem. But before I get into all of that, you might be thinking that LEGO is trying to piggyback off Minecraft's success with Worlds, which, to be fair, seems like a sensible thing for them to do. LEGO was doing the building stuff out of blocks thing way before Notch was even born.
LEGO, a whole new world to build.
At first glance, Worlds does look a lot like a Minecraft clone, but it's actually nothing like it. In fact, the bulk of the creation tools are more reminiscent of Far Cry's level editor than anything else, with menus full of tools that allow you to manipulate the landscape and pre-made props, buildings and characters that can be placed wherever you see fit. Classic brick-by-brick LEGO building is of course here, but thanks to the incredibly fiddly camera controls, any kind of construction is a real pain. Even placing the pre-built items is tricky enough, and getting anything to fit neatly together can be a really aggravating experience. That's why the most fun I had with LEGO Worlds was away from the construction side of things. The randomised lands are vast and ripe for exploration, but the really cool thing is that any item you interact with on your travels will be added to your inventory for use in building and character customisation later down the line. The sense of discovery here really is wonderful, and there are so many things to find in the numerous imaginative biomes. Randomly stumbling across a vehicle that allowed me to tunnel through the earth was awesome enough, but you should have seen the smile on my face when I realised I could ride a fire-breathing dragon through the sky. For a game all about LEGO, it's a shame that the actual building portion of Worlds is such a letdown at the moment. Still, it's early days and there's a lot of potential in here that could easily be fine-tuned by user feedback while it evolves through early access. Oh, and if you're wondering whether or not I built a penis in LEGO Worlds, well, yeah, of course I did. It just wasn't a very good one. Anyway, that's what I think, but Johnny's been playing LEGO Worlds too, and I don't think he's been having quite as much fun.
Yeah, I've been playing LEGO Worlds, and don't get me wrong, it's fine. It's just made me think about how one day I'm going to be dead. I mean, I was running around the open world, and that was all really fun. I like the noises the skeletons make in particular. They're really funny, but then I tried to build something, and I couldn't. I just couldn't make it work. I tried to place the bricks and they just went wrong. I just couldn't make sense of it. Blimey, I thought, I've been doing this job nearly 10 years. If I can't wrap my head around this, how are little kids gonna manage? And that's when it hit me. They're gonna do it easily. They won't struggle to figure this out. It's gonna come naturally because they've got malleable brains and society hasn't ground them into a kind of begrudging, acquiescent despair yet. It made me realise one day I'm going to be old and scared and nothing will ever seem familiar or friendly ever again. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that LEGO Worlds is quite good, really.
Almost it for this week, but finally Ian's been playing Ark, so is it dino-tastic or should it go extinct?
That's a bad line.
I'm Sir Ian Higtonborough, and just like everyone else in the world that's watched Jurassic Park, I love dinosaurs. So, using state-of-the-art time travel technology, I have transported myself back to prehistoric times so that I can observe these majestic creatures in their natural habitat. Well, what do we have here? This majestic creature is the magnificent Stegosaurus. Modern-day paleontologists believe this herbivore to be very placid and gentle. I shall reach out and try to stroke his snout. If the experts are right, it might be possible to tame him. Ow! I seem to have made a terrible mistake. Ah, damn it. Ah, what a treat! A wild Triceratops in the wild. Look how majestic he is with his 3 horns protruding proudly from his skull. Modern-day paleontologists believe the skin of a Triceratops to be incredibly tough, so I will put this theory to the test with a hastily constructed spear. Oh my word, I seem to have angered it somewhat. Oh, luckily for me, modern-day paleontologists believe that the Triceratops couldn't swim. To the sea! Phew! Finally, I am safe from his magnificent onslaught. Oh my holy crap! Triceratops can swim! Oh God, I can see hate in its eyes. Oh! Only my spear can save me now. Take this, you magnificent beast. Oh. Bugger.
Alright, that's your lot for this week. If you enjoyed the show, please do feel free to give the video a like, maybe comment, or even subscribe for future shows. And we'll see you next week.
Bye. However, some of them are remarkably similar. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you disturbing evidence that Geralt of Rivia, slayer of monsters and lover of women, is crap in bed.